I have an update for you for Abercrombie and Fitch, ticker symbol ANF, which a couple of weeks ago I made a video and I talked about how there's a major trend that appears to be changing, and I think that is now confirmed. One thing I do want to point out quickly, this company is set to report earnings on Friday, February 28th, so keep that date circled, but it is a stock that had a hell of a move last year, as we're going to look at right now. We do think that move is likely now over, and has confirmed to be over, and the path of least resistance remains to the downside. So first of all, how do we measure that? Well, we use our trend following process for this as well. This is the market rover, and what we do with the market rover is we essentially track the major trends, and then we do trades within that. And you can see how this stock became a bullish trend in February 2023, then ended up rallying as much as 554%. That's a lot, by sort of the mid part of last year, and then ultimately turned into a neutral trend, became a bit choppy somewhere around the latter part of last year, and now it's actually in a bearish trend. Now, and that's the red background color that you want to see here. You see we're in a bearish trend, so that's clearly not where we want to be. So if I'm long the stock, if I'm allocated, if I had good gains, it would have been nice to know that this trend all changed somewhere around about 20% ago, right? So that's helpful to know, and of course going into earnings as well. Now, if we look at this just through the lens of basic, chart analysis and sort of drawing lines on charts, we can see this as well. Now, it helps to have an actual quantification of this, an actual, sort of more math behind the process than draw lines, but they can help us kind of with the starting point. So you can kind of see how we started breaking trend here. We had a very strong uptrend in this stock as people got very giddy about the company's new sort of direction they were going, and now it looks to us, and it's confirmed on our quantitative screening as well, that the stock is now at least in consolidation phase. Now it's in a bearish trend, because the question remains how far could it fall? So now this part of course now becomes tricky, because what we do know is we know there's a new bearish trend. So that basically means we don't want to buy this. Let's see what happens after earnings. Maybe something changes, but for right now, we certainly want to get out of long positions, and we want to wait for further guidance. But it's in a bearish trend right now. If I were to be taking some basic sort of retracement level kind of math, I could go to the lows of October 23 to the highs, and I would see that we are currently somewhere, not quite at the 50% retracement mark. To us, if this trend continues, the stock could easily go in sort of the mid-80s. So from the time I'm recording this, that could be another, 27, 28, let's call it 30% lower, and it would be all par for the course. That would actually give the stock a chance to still correct itself and then go back higher. If it goes much below there, it's kind of in no man's land and maybe goes much lower. But for now, intermediate term, as I said before, the stock has gone through a trend change. Wasn't a great bullish run. We had an absolute home run on this one. On the signal, as you can see, the signal just knocked out of the park. Now it's a bearish trend. And the reason I'm pointing this stock out specifically is because it was such a big winner last year. In fact, if you look at ANF last year and we look how well it performed, I'm going to quickly show you that here. You can see last year. Let's go even. On like a 3-year basis, the stock is up 200%. Again, it's down here, obviously, maybe 20-30% or so over the past few weeks, but it still had a really, really big run last year and really starting in 2023, which is again when we got that buy signal, which was specific in February 2023. So after, I guess, a couple of years of a good run, the stock now is in a bearish trend, and I know a lot of people own it, a lot of people traded it, a lot of people bought it. We think it's in a new bearish trend, and we'll see what happens after earnings. I'll keep you updated on that.